should be live and in vivo. Let me check just to make sure, like I always do. That way I can have chat up as well. Of course we're live. All right. Should be good. Hold on a second here. That's not what I want. That's what I want. All right. Boom. Okay. Let me look and see if we got anybody in chat just yet. Of course we do. Jen Wow is here. King Solomon, what's up? Rich Motorshaw, UK, up in the hizzy. What's up, Rich? Nice to have you here. Keeper. Bernie. How dare you, Keeper? Bernie's in studio. Say hi, Bernie.
Hi, Bernie.
All right, she said it. She's kind of in the distance there. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We got a jam-packed show today, so let's do this thing. Let me not blast your ears, though. Alright, welcome everybody to the MLH Comment Show for the 7th of October, my favorite month, with the best holiday of the year, Halloween upcoming. I hope you guys are all doing well. Ellie, welcome. Nice to have you in here. Grim Reaper, nice to have you in here as well. Of course, Solomon, Rich, and who else? Jen Wow, Keeper. Even though he's such a big Bernie fan. Nunya, what's up? Nice to have you here as well. And anybody else that comes in, if I miss you, I do apologize. But my mods will definitely give you a warm welcome. Welcome to the Comment Show, like I said. And we're going to have a great show today because I made a couple of guest appearances on a couple of what they call anti-frauditor channels. And they were very interesting, very different. And I'm going to address some of the comments. We got a lot of those people coming on over. Hopefully you guys will welcome them with open arms and treat them with respect and dignity, even though sometimes the same doesn't apply to us. But we are better. We're going to try to be better. All right, let me transition on over to the comments here. Oh, hold on a second here. Let me transition back because it's not quite the size that I need. That's what she said. Hold on one second here. And we will get things in order. I don't know why I did that. It always resizes my comments for no reason. So let me take care of that. Oops. All right, there we go. That should be better. Okay. Hope you guys can see it up on the screen there. Keeper, how dare you? It's not the hot tub. You wait till Tuesday, sir. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We've got lots to cover today, so I'm just going to jump right in at the beginning. And here's the first of the other community to come in and talk. Some of the comments are just really long, so I'm not going to... Wow, I'm not going to have time to go through all of them. I'll try to go through them rapid fire, but all right, here we go. You seem like you're a smarter frauditor. I really wish that you guys would not use that term if you're in the other community for everybody. It's like, it's akin to somebody saying all cops are bad. I mean, obviously that's not a true statement. So to call every auditor a frauditor just makes you look not great. So I really wish that you would take everybody as an individual. But here we go. I hope you're different. I have not watched any of your videos. Let's see. But I will give you a shot. You're right. DMA didn't have to go into that Social Security office. All he had to do was take the policy or law and challenge it in court, which I've said several times, Warren. He even had people telling him not to go in until Chile showed up. Yeah, if you, I mean, all right, let me set the record straight. I know Ellie in chat and myself were screaming to the high heavens in chat, don't go in that building. So, you know what? Not all of us are, culpable and you know, try to cause problems. So, but it goes on and on here. I understand about the sensitive information in the Social Security office. Federal laws are different than state laws, and they usually trump state laws. Actually, they almost always trump state laws. So, if the statutes say that you can't be in the Social Security office, you just can't be in there. I think it could be challenged, though, because, but I don't want to be the one. And DMA definitely isn't the one. Because he did not challenge that. And that's another thing that is just bothersome to me. If you think you're righteous, why don't you challenge guilty verdicts, But this is a long-winded response, not response, but comment. But I appreciate you coming in and talking to me, or at least commenting, Warren. And I do appreciate the comment for sure, and I appreciate you at least giving me a shot. That's all that most of us ask for, and I hope that you may have an open mind. Let's see. Oh, yeah, before I get going any further, Ellie, who's in chat, is going to be on Familia TV tomorrow at 8 Eastern, I believe. I believe that's when she's going to be on Familia TV. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ellie, and I will correct it. Keeper says, closed minds, actually, MLH. Open minds are able to disseminate relevant information. I agree, Keeper. And that's all that I ask, is that you keep an open mind. Now, when I went on to Familia TV, that audience was very... I would say for the most part open-minded. I mean, there were detractors, like there's always going to be. Now on Frauditor Trolls appearance, that was a different story. It was just one hate comment after another. But I think I acquitted myself well, and you guys can check that out and let me know how I did. All right, Gimmickless says, just missed last comment show. That's okay, Gimmickless, no problem. I think the fame and influence went straight to DMA's head. What fame? I mean, is he famous? Does anybody think DMA is famous? More like infamous. I'm not a fan of the dude, and I never have been. I tried to give him chance after chance, and he's just not a good person, in my opinion. Gimmickless says, I agree that we should not have pleasure in others' pain or discomfort. See, that's the thing. Like, as much as I dislike DMA, like going to jail is no joke. Being on probation is no joke. All the punishments that he got, I thought were a little harsh. But you mess with the bull, you're gonna get the horns. So he ended up getting the horns. Gimmickless continues. Anyone who gets arrested without being able to sue for wrongful arrest or a violation of rights is misguided. It only further funds the system in place. I agree with that, and it also hurts others who are trying to do the right thing. So, I agree with you, Keeper, in chat. Hostile is putting it mildly, Ellie said. Yeah, it was... I thought I did pretty decently, but it's really tough when question after question is just detractor after detractor. Blue Unicorn, who I'm going to see today, says at 12:41 of last week's show, because normies don't watch your channel, so getting it out to a wider audience could possibly get more action. This is about accountability and not content, after all. I've said that several times, Unicorn. Like, that my channel doesn't make a huge amount of money. I'm not gonna lie and say it makes zero money. Like I explained, I make maybe $100 every 2 to 3 months on YouTube. So unless for some reason I get weird super chats or PayPals or stuff like that, and even then it's not a huge amount of money. It took Tom Martino on Fox 31 to bust that former Denver police chief who was running a drug prostitution ring, even though there was multiple complaints about it. The cops don't care about you or me or anyone else, but they do care about their public image. Normies that support the police watch the news. They don't watch MLH YouTube channel. That's all I'm saying. If you showed normies on TV all of those rabbit hole videos, they can see for themselves how hard it will be for them if they try to make a complaint about anything. That's a good point, Blue Unicorn. My rabbit hole videos are important for just that reason, not the initial complaint of littering. I mean, I'm sure most of us have committed littering at one, whether you knew it or not, at some point in their life. The point is how hard it is to file a complaint against a police officer. So those rabbit hole videos that you're referring to are super important. And why does it matter to be a wider, not whiter keeper? How dare you? Yeah, I thought I did good, keeper. I mean, all right, let's continue on here. I don't know if it's about holding them accountable. It seems like a good idea to use any and all tools at your disposal instead of worrying about whose content. That's just it. I do my thing, and that's it. Blue continues here. Yeah, but that's just it. You don't pay them. They force you to pay them. It's different. I pay the mafia not to burn down my nightclub. In no ways does that mean they work for me or that they will stop anyone from burning down my nightclub. We pay cops to do a job they don't do and end up paying them to rob people and ruin lives. They don't keep law and order at all. I tend to agree with that, Blue Unicorn. Keeper, who's in chat, says, I always miss Saturdays. Well, not today, Keeper. You're in there, so you didn't miss today. Need to add the live comments, please. Hi, Bernie. The comments, Keeper, come at a later time. Like, I don't know what YouTube does, but I guess they have to process the live and all that. But the comments will be there for sure. So even after this live is complete, you can see the comments probably a few hours after. I'm guessing. I don't know why YouTube just doesn't release those comments right away. Fab Daddy, welcome to chat. Nice to have you in here. Really appreciate you. All right, Blue Unicorn continues. 3320. I used to call him out for that too. Calls it a 1A channel, but the mods block any contrasting viewpoint. At first I thought it was just mods, but then he himself said it was okay because YouTube guidelines and such. I suppose that might be a valid point. The mods just block everyone that disagrees, so it isn't YouTube guidelines. Now that's an interesting point, Blue Unicorn. I didn't know. I'm hardly ever in that dude's channel, so I don't really care. But if you're blocking just for the sake of blocking, then that's not right. I do block naughty words in the chat, so those are held. So if you, for instance, were to say the word fuck in chat, it's going to be held on purpose because of YouTube guidelines. And I don't, eventually if you get enough nasty comments in your chat, then you get flagged as one of those, bad channels. It's sort of like when horror movies were flagged as the video nasties back in the 80s. They were banned in certain countries. So I don't want this channel to be banned just because a lot of people, I understand the First Amendment issues and whatnot, but YouTube does have its guidelines, and I want to protect this channel as much as possible. If you have a dissenting opinion, that's one thing, but if you're, just going off and you're being a douchebag and you're causing drama in the chat, that's one thing I don't allow. I mean, everybody should be able to come here, voice their opinions, and not feel afraid. But at the same time, you need to be respectful because I'm not going to tolerate that, and neither are my mods. That's just how it is. All right, let's continue. Oh shit, there's lots of comments here. Hold on, lost my place. Okay. It's a great day for Canada and therefore the world, Blue Unicorn says. I don't know what that's in reference to. I have to go back and listen. Blue Unicorn said, I said that about AFA once. He claims he's an activist, but all he seems to do is pick on people he knows aren't going to fight back, and that's what makes him and cops the same. Just bullies. But he would never go to the Hells Angels clubhouse and pull that stuff. We should be back. Are we back? Are we back, y'all? Uh, it kind of dropped, so sorry, guys. Are we back? Yeah. Okay, cool. Um, as for the comments about getting raped in prison, I've also made the same argument you are making when Daniel Holtzclaw was sent to prison. The comment section was lousy with people cheering what would happen to him in prison. I tried reminding people that the reason he went to prison is because of what he did was bad. So cheering on others to do bad things like that in the name of good is just dumb, even if for some reason you think he deserves it. Maybe he thought those women deserved it, right? Opinions are subjective, but truth is objective. Doing that stuff to anyone is objectively wrong, no matter the reason. Now, catching someone doing that thing, I might say just killing them is fine based on my opinion, but to rape someone is just to hurt them is merely sadistic. I think we differ a little bit on that, Blue Unicorn. I mean, killing is, I wouldn't wish that. You know what I mean? Although, I mean, there are some people that I've said before, I wouldn't care if they got hit or ran over, or something like that. But for someone to be murdered, that's kind of different. I've heard that 89.97% of all statistics are pulled right out of butts on the spot. Blue Unicorn says, yeah. If that's what the guy think is getting owned, I think maybe he needs an Urban Dictionary. I wouldn't necessarily you own that cop, but I'll say you rented the crap out of him. Yeah, it was a weird comment, but it happens. Okay. Jesus said, "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar." So why don't churches render unto Caesar? Jesus said to do it. So come on, churches, get to paying those taxes unless you don't believe what Jesus says. I mean, good point there, Blue Unicorn. All right, let's continue on. Holy cow, this is a long comment. Wow. Okay. Blue Unicorn, I'm probably going to read a little bit of this, and we will discuss it when I meet you today, because I know you're in town today. But he says, I agree, and say it also at 120. I hear people say, when you're all upset about a camera and it's my right and stuff, but more often it's not the camera that bothers people, it's the a-hole that's holding it and being a jerk about it. We'll talk more about that, Blue Unicorn, when you get here. I'll do a personal reading of your comment, and we can discuss, but it's a lot, and I got a lot to cover today. Sorry. And by the way, Blue Unicorn says, wow, that was a novel. Sorry. No, don't worry, Blue Unicorn. I'll address it to you when you get here in Denver later today, so no worries. Let's wait for my comments to come up. Here we go. Matthew King on my post where I went on to Familia TV said, good stuff. Best of luck in doing so. Thank you, Matthew. I thought it went fairly well. Johnny Bravo with the peace sign. Thank you very much. What else we got? Blue Unicorn. People are forced to pay cops. Therefore, all cops are bad because they derive their paycheck from coercion. Then they take that paycheck to coerce more money from people. They do get a welfare check, don't they, Blue Unicorn? And then people complain about welfare queens. The biggest welfare queens in the United States are officers and politicians. So there you go. This is fair game. Someone who does this is an idiot. However, it is an example of how politeness goes a long way, because some jerk that walks directly in front of your camera is not very smart. So you might punch your face in which case the laws of physics apply far more than the laws of the state. But yeah, if he's going to start crap, then he gets what he's buying. Just be aware that's a bear. Sometimes that bear might be a patched up 1%er, and now you're boned. Well, look, Blue Unicorn, you do take risk when you go out there with camera. There's no doubt. So, good point. Keeper says, oh, come on. Bernie is always looking for a rise. How dare you, Keeper? Always bringing the hot tub into the comment show, and how dare you laugh? Conspiracy.
Every week.
I know.
I love him. He's awesome.
She loves you, Keeper. Me, I'm the jury's still out on whether I like you or not. No, I do like you, Keeper.
Love him too.
Conspiracy Music, welcome. Nice to have you here. Great musician. Ellie says, awesome job. I enjoyed listening to you both on the Familia TV interview. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate that. Gimmickless says, "Damn, no alert." Yeah, I don't know what's going. I mean, that's just an ongoing YouTube issue, man. I don't know what to say. Gimmickless says, "You guys are on the right path, the path to truth and honesty. There are people who want to exploit any angle of any movement. It is great to see checks and balances in all angles. I try to do it. If you guys haven't seen the Bridging the Gap episode, you know, make sure you check it out, and the rabbit hole videos. All right. You guys get a little confused with the Second Amendment and how effective it is when properly utilized with people who are law-abiding. Most gun crimes are committed in Democratic-controlled cities with the most gun laws. Well, look, Gimmickless, that's where the most concentration of guns are, right? So, of course, there's going to be more gun crimes there than out in a rural area just based on numbers. He says, the fact is that criminals look for weak and vulnerable targets. Gun-controlled cities just mean an unarmed victims. I disagree. Howard County agrees with you, Gimmickless. I don't own a gun. Am I weak and vulnerable? I would venture to say not, just because I don't have a gun. I don't need a gun. I've never had to use a gun, and nor would ever want to put myself in a position where I had to take another person's life. So there's differences of opinion and philosophies. All right, Gimmickless continues. My story of multiple police encounters is what got me into cop watching. An instance of accelerating quickly at a green light, and a cop behind me got me pulled over and my rights violated. The topper was the cop telling me that my baseball cap needed to be turned around so it's not backwards. Then another incident with a pellet gun that couldn't even pop a balloon. A cop was called because I was shooting it in a small field. Told me I was fine and to go about my business, hoping I would be killed by gang members. Luckily, I ran into a guy that set me straight about what was going on when I told him what happened. And there was another incident with me and a friend. We were not being upstanding citizens, but just young teenage idiots. One cop roughed up and slammed my friend around, but I was treated with respect and understanding. You see, why is that, Gimmickless? I mean, these are questions that need to be asked. And I'm glad, I'm glad you survived all that, because it could have been a different outcome. Just ask the guy in Denver who had a magic marker that they mistook for a weapon. Or just ask Jordell Richardson, who got killed over a pellet gun. Gimmickless says, me and Ellie are more alike than I realized. I called you out for some BS a while back with your critical race theory. It's not my critical race theory, Gimmickless. You tried to say I was wrong, but I fact-checked you and you blew over the comment. I recommend you revisiting the comment. I will, Gimmickless, but critical race to talk about it. Fiction, the other dimension says, and isn't it ironic? Don't you think? I think that's an old Alanis Morissette reference. Howard County. Cajun Randy, welcome. Nice to have you in here. Caucasian Sasquatch, nice to have you here. Did your car eat its broccoli? It sure did, man. I mean, I've been eating electricity left and right, more than gas, which is nice. I haven't had to visit the gas pump in 2 weeks, Bernie? Yeah. 1 tank of gas is going to take me, a long ways. Howard County says, the point of the Second Amendment is so that everyone has a right and ability to defend themselves. There are people out there that will use a weapon to assault others, looking for targets of weakness. There you go again. I think I addressed this comment before. If those people had a thought that nearly everyone had a way to defend themselves, those victims would dissipate. See, here's where you're wrong, Howard County. There are more guns in this country than people. How's that working out? I'm not. Look, I'm a proponent of the Second Amendment, but I don't believe that everybody needs a damn gun. And especially, semi-automatic weapons and automatic weapons, it's madness. I mean, those are weapons of, quote, mass destruction, man. I mean, if you're a hunter, are you going to use an automatic or a semi-automatic weapon to shoot down a deer? Why? What's the sport in that? I think maybe a bow and arrow would be a better way of hunting. I mean, if you're a hunter, I'm okay with hunting and having rifles and guns for hunting, but semi-automatic weapons and Glocks and I mean all this stuff, it just gets so convoluted, man. Should everyone have a gun? No. People that have proven that they are not responsible for one, or people that have shown that take advantage of others, most likely should not. The point of doing Second Amendment tests or 2A audits is to test those rights, which I agree with. Howard County. I've seen many 2A audit, in open carry places. If you have some sort of fear that someone you do not personally know has a gun on them, that means you are jumping to conclusions and the problem lies within yourself, not the person with the firearm. Well, I would think we're going to disagree a little bit there, Howard County. Like I said, there are more guns in this country than people. And that's a scary thought in itself. I don't assume that anybody has a gun, by the way. I'm assuming this comment will go in the holding box. No, it will not go in the holding box. I'm reading it right now. I've defended Ellie on many occasions on her different opinions, of which I completely agree with her on. On this one about 2A, I do not. Sorry, Ellie. I'm assuming she will agree with my wording here, though. She normally seems rather level-headed about things. Yeah, of course. I mean, Ellie's always been level-headed. Like I said, you can see more of Ellie tomorrow on Familia TV at 8 Eastern. So, and maybe they'll get into that discussion. I have no idea. Old Guy Mitch, welcome. All right. My hunting rifle of choice is a 308. I can hit the deer in the first shot. I don't need a semi-auto. Yeah, see? There you go. I mean, I would take it one step further, conspiracy. I think it would be more challenging with the bow and arrow, don't you? I mean, I think you would agree, right? Salty Explorer, it's been a while. Says, hey, MLH, just wanted to say I appreciate you keeping it real and speaking out when people in the 1A community are doing wrong. I stepped away from all of it because I don't want to associate with people acting like criminals and being just as shady as the people they are calling out under the guise of, quote, activism. I just resubscribed. I show support when support is deserved, and you seem like a good dude trying to do the right thing. Well, Salty Explorer, I'm glad you're back in the fold, and not everybody is out there to be an idiot. I certainly am not, so I do appreciate that. And welcome back. All right. Broken System, Broken Trust says, I tried to bridge the gap with the Frauditor channels many times. Good luck. Frauditor Troll has shown a serious lack of morals and ethics. He wants YouTube money. There's no doubt about that, Broken System. But here's the difference between you and I, Broken, and this is why I'm probably the proper person to try this. I'm in the field. I do auditing, but I do a bunch of other things. But I don't have a criminal record. All right, and I'm not. This is no slight on anybody with a criminal record, but I do not. And I think it takes somebody like that to kind of disarm a lot of the arguments that these people have. So, that doesn't make me any better or worse than you, Broken. I'm just telling you, it puts me in a better position to combat a lot of the stuff that they say. Just trying to give you a heads up. Broken, I'm well aware. I'm well aware of all the communities on YouTube for the most part. The reason I like the 1A community is because they use a camera or video to tell the story. That's a good point. I can be allies with anybody genuinely interested in putting the truth out there. Frauditor Troll is definitely not interested in that. I'm going to tend to agree with you, but I'm going to leave the caveat that I hope that he can turn it around, Broken. FT should probably be a little more forthright and a little more, he should follow up on things. Like, you can't just report somebody got arrested and then not report what happened with that arrest. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes things work differently than what he portrays them to be. So, let's see. Butthead says, you should interview Silence Boy. Why? Why would I do that? I don't agree with his tactics. I would have no I have no problems interviewing anybody. But what could I gain from that, Butthead? Is Silence Boy trying to bridge the gap anywhere? The answer is most certainly no. Noel says, "Who is Ginger?" Ginger is a guy that DMA got into a confrontation at the Colorado Springs Public Utilities Commission building. And I actually met with Ginger. And it was a really good conversation. I didn't record it because I thought that it was a really good conversation, and that's another way of bridging the gap and trying to understand his point of view. And I think he understood my point of view. We didn't have very many disagreements. Okay. Noners commented, "I, along with many others here, found you by way of Frauditor Troll. I used to watch 1A videos until they seemed to really go down a G track, and then found the anti-frauditor community. You are the type of 1A or activist creator that I definitely appreciate. You do seem to go out to create trouble. You don't seem to go out to create trouble for the sake of clicks and views. So thank you for being a voice of reason. It's really sad that so many channels really don't give a crap about rights. They just use it as a guise to make YouTube fame. Great job sticking to your values." Thank you, Nonners, and welcome to the channel. I hope you at least find some value in it. And you know, I think one of the main things that I got across in those appearances is I don't do a lot of editing on my channel because I want you guys to be able to critique my style and critique what I do if critique is needed, right? So you have full context. So thank you for saying that. It's great that you have had an open mind. I really appreciate it. Let's continue here. James Joseph says, "Just subscribe. Frauditor Troll sent me." Thank you, James Joseph. Appreciate that, and I hope, you know, not all of my videos are perfect, but, you know, and I will get aggressive at times, I'm not going to lie, but usually I know the officer on the other end of that, or the officer provokes that response. So, you know, I just hope that you guys can at least give it a shot. All right. It's Not a Pet says, "I gave you a little nonsense on FT Live, but it is what it is. Glad you did the live." No problem. It's Not a Pet. Thank you for at least checking out my videos, and I hope, like I said before, I hope to not only earn people's subscription, but I hope to keep it. So that's the whole shebang. I'm sorry. Best P Mintown 22 says, "Can I ask a question?" You just did. "You say the Constitution overrides all pissy little ordinances. Isn't this where the 10th Amendment kicks in? I don't think you can state that the Constitution overrides all. If there were no statutes, ordinances, or policies in place, it would become a chaotic world." I understand your point, Best P, but the thing is, you can't just make an ordinance that stifles the First Amendment. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure that there have been other instances, and as a matter of fact, I know of other instances. I can't recall off the top of my head where a locality has put up an ordinances and it just doesn't get anywhere. People get cited, charges get dropped, and then that sign eventually comes down because it doesn't hold up in higher courts. And I understand your 10th Amendment argument, but certain things like the First Amendment and, you know, things that violate your rights in the first place get struck down. It's commonplace to get struck down. So I do appreciate you coming on and listening. Really appreciate that. It's Not a Pet comes back and says, "Also, I have a small channel, not on this name, so I understand not wanting issues on your channel. I'll give you a sub, and I won't be out of line on your videos and lives. Good job talking in FT Live, and again, I was giving you a little nonsense, nothing more." No problem. It's Not a Pet. I appreciate your subscription, and I hope to keep it. That's the way, you know, that's the way you bridge the gap, is you try to do things a little differently. You know, we may not agree on everything, but you know, as far as like being out of line, I don't have a problem with you calling out BS, whether it's with me or another auditor or anything. I mean, you're welcome here and on my live. So thank you for being here. As long as you're not a complete douche to others, and you know, you're not causing drama and stuff. That's the whole thing. Best P comes back and says, and also, unless you pay property tax, you do not own any part of the building, vehicle, nor pay towards wages. So not all we the peoples have a right to make demands. Having said that, these services do provide services that benefit all people. Yes, I understand that, Best P, but if you do pay taxes, it doesn't matter if it's property tax or whatever, any types of taxes that go to the government go to subsidize those workers and those buildings, the uptake of those buildings. So yes, you're right. You don't have ownership of those buildings per se. I couldn't move into those buildings, but we have a right to make sure that those buildings are properly maintained, that there's not all kinds of trash on the ground, and we have a right to call the government out. That's the redress of government. You see what I'm saying? Sales tax, gas tax, exactly. Yeah, everyone pays taxes, including sales tax, Ellie says. Tourist tax, all kinds of things. P-Bay, who gave me a hard time on Frauditor Trolls channel, and at one point I believe called me a pedophile, which is absolutely not true, said MLH sings Nickelback songs in the shower. That's actually a cute comment, P-Bay. I told the story about how I was at a Pantera concert, and I saw a guy with a Nickelback shirt in a Pantera concert that I thought was funny. Michael RS 8010 says, just got done listening to interview on FT's channel, and I was wondering, did you misspeak when you said DMA had cue cards while he was giving his little speech before going into the library? Did you mean that, or did you mean to say that he had the personal little note cards, usually 3x5, that many speakers use? I know you asked this question, Michael RS, and I didn't get a chance to address you on FT's channel, but yes, technically you're correct. They were index cards, but I mean he was using them as cue cards to do his little speech in front of the Inglewood Library. So it's not, I didn't misspeak. I mean they technically were cue cards, but yes, index cards, not the big cue cards that they used to use in old school television. All right, Bazinga said police stations are considered non-public forums, not public property. That's absolutely not true. They are, the lobbies are definitely public. You can go in there, you can get forms, you can talk to a police officer. The only reason that they get hurt is because they just don't want to be held accountable on camera. I proved that in my rabbit hole videos, Bazinga. I hope you go check those out. Thank you for the comment, though. Tube Sock says, great job tonight. I think you're a good dude. I'll definitely be checking your channel out more. Start the memberships, LOL. That's one thing, Tube Sock. This channel is not for money. Even though if it does become big, I know I will eventually make money, but that's not the point. I will never have memberships on my channel, just to let you know. Memberships will never be a thing on this channel. I don't think I can provide any form of value for the memberships. If you want to support the channel, there are other ways to do that directly through PayPal, through Venmo, Cash App, and also Super Chats. That's, I mean, I can't, I can't justify having memberships. I don't think I can provide you guys any value. Alan B., welcome, man. Nice to have you in here, bud. Conspiracy says it comes down to approach. Some know, most don't. Exactly, Conspiracy. No card or cue card, still the same size. It's the words. Yes, exactly, Keeper. All right. Bazinga says, I'm sorry, but K-Dot commenting on anyone being rude is hilarious. Well, look, K-Dot has a style all his own, Bazinga. But see, here's what's funny. Frauditor Troll at one point, I believe, had a video on K-Dot and is not big on K-Dot. But he never did the follow-up to that arrest. I'm sure you will find that arrest was dropped because it was ridiculous. And if you don't like his style, there's nothing I can say. I mean, you don't like his style. I mean, sometimes I get a little iffy with people too. Bazinga says that man was right. There's a way to get your message across. Well, Bazinga, let me tell you, K-Dot and I have tried to get our message across for a very long time, and it never gets across. So the use of language is a-okay. That'll get people's attention. And this guy threatened K-Dot's life. I don't know if you saw that video all the way through, but the chief of police definitely threatened K-Dot's life. And I will defend K-Dot till the end of the earth on that video and many other of the videos. Starship Trooper 32 says, I like Familia TV. He's a great guy. He did seem very accommodating, and he agreed with a lot of what I said, and I had a good time on that channel. So thanks for the comment, Starship Trooper. That's a great movie, by the way. All right. This is a funny name. Chili De Castro sucks off cops. Said, I don't know if that's true. I doubt that's true. Said, just watched the interview on FT's channel. Enjoyed your insight on some of the auditors out there. Thank you very much. I mean, that whole name it's really long, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. MLH gets a bunch of panties in a bunch? Never. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Just B says, hey, I came over from FT. I was trying to find the library video you all were talking about. Which one? Just B, the Inglewood Library, or the famous Chatio video where Chatio just went off? They're on the channel. I forget what they're called, but keep searching and you will definitely find both. I never hide my videos behind a paywall, and they are there for you all to see, and they're for the most part very unedited. So there you go. And check out the lives. I think most of mine are in lives, just be that might be why you're not finding them. Ian Bruce says ditto as recommended by FT. Very professional interaction with FT. Thank you very much, Ian Bruce. I appreciate that. I try. Starship Trooper says, no offense, bro. I like you. You're a great guy, but I think Regan Benson, along with Chris Cordova, a.k.a. DMA, have hurt the 1A community and have given fuel to the anti-auditor, frauditor community. Just saying. I couldn't agree with you more, Starship Trooper. If you notice, any videos that I have with DMA or Regan are way in the past. They're not current. So there you go. Brianna Johnson, dazed and confused, says, MLH, you made a good guest on FT the other day. The super chats I sent were just for fun. Well, thank you for coming on in, Brianna, and I hope at least some of the videos on my channel, I hope you enjoy. Nobody ever agrees 100%, Ellie says, with their family or friends. Why would you agree 100% with the troll community, says. Please think for yourselves. I agree with that. Conspiracy says Chatio lost his temper. He's actually a cool dude. I've been on panel with him a couple of times. Conspiracy, I was done with Chatio after that video, but DMA took it way too far. He chased him down at his next employer. He made merch about him. I mean, I know that dude has mental issues, and that wasn't the way to help him out at all. Ellie said, paywall is stupid. You can fight for my rights if I have to. You can't fight for my rights if I have to pay to see them. I agree. Yeah, what DMA did with Chatio was absolutely asinine and out of line. Jen with the heart, thank you very much, Jen. Appreciate you. Keeper of the list says, Bernie sent you to work today? Bernie rocks. How dare you, Keeper? I'm usually the one sending Bernie to work, you know. All right, let's continue on. Lori Smith says, I am looking for your channel after I found respect for you after listening to your discussion with FT. However, this public comment makes me lose all respect for the speaker. There's a way to talk and make a point that will guide the listener to agree with what is being said, and this communication is not that. Regan Benson is not respected by any public figure nor law enforcement, and I hear the same from this speaker. Regan does nothing to support her cause or nonprofit, and I hear the same here. There's a difference, Lori. K-Dot and I have dealt with this city council for a very long time. The mayor is an absolute piece of trash. If you don't believe me, look up his record in Congress, Mike Kaufman. He has a habit of of disregarding any public discussion. They don't care. There was a lot in that video that you don't realize. Let's just put it that way. As far as Regan goes, nothing to support her cause or nonprofit. I think I can agree with you there. Let's just put it that way. Let's continue on. And Duamon. Oh, by the way, Lori Smith, thank you very much for stopping on in. New friend here from Harry Nuts. Thank you very much, Anna Duamon. Appreciate that. And I hope you enjoy your stay here. All right, let's see. Let's continue on. Blue Unicorn says, I asked you guys to do 15 jumping jacks and paint your car pink. Comply. Yeah, exactly. Is this a sock account, Blue? All right, this is Fab Daddy trolling Blue Unicorn in good fun. See you tonight on HTTM. Be there or be square, he says. And then Howard County threw an X sign up. Thank you guys for your comments. Let's continue on here on the same SWAT Action Live video. KDOT needs more caffeine, somebody, Blue Unicorn says. Fab Daddy says KDOT needs more subs. He's getting up there in subs, isn't he? He's up to, I believe, 30 some odd thousand or something. He's getting there. Fab Daddy says Frauditor Troll will use this for his monetary gains. Bet me. No doubt, Fab Daddy. I mean, that day, I mean, I've never seen so many super chats in my life. He probably made $300, $400, $500 in super chats alone, which I felt a little queasy about, but hey, I don't have a problem with people making money on YouTube. Blue Unicorn here says, I think he meant tactile situation. They have to walk around touching all the bald heads. Blue Unicorn, you're something else, dude. Fab Daddy says, who is Familiar or Frauditor? Okay, Familia TV is kind of an anti-frauditor channel, I guess is the way they put it, and so is FT. FT's a little more aggressive and doesn't do a lot of research, but you know. All right. Trevor Audit says, MLH, with all due respect, how often do you wash your hair, bro? I was thinking of growing mine like yours, but yours always looks like it might smell or be super greasy. Again, with all due respect, how often do you wash it and shower? Okay, I can tell you, Trevor Audit, I know this is a troll comment, but I'll address it anyways, just for your knowledge. My hair is never smelly, at least according to Bernie B.
No,
I'm
a what's the word?
Connoisseur?
I'm a connoisseur of smelling his hair.
She does it all the time. She bidens me all the time, guys.
And his hair never stinks.
Right. It does get greasy from time to time.
Yeah,
because
but you wash it once
Hold on. I'm gonna address it, okay. Bernie. Just relax. My hair does get greasy because the natural oils come out faster than the normal person. But it doesn't get like totally greasy. I mean, when it gets to a point, I mean, every other day or every third day, I wash my hair. So, hope that.
And every night I sniff.
Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here, Bernie. Stop sniffing me. So there you go. As far as showering, almost every day, Trevor. But I don't wash my hair every day because it's not necessary. And then Nikki Smallboy says, "Nice try, troll." Thank you, Nikki. I mean, but I think I addressed it okay. Fab Daddy says, nothing wrong with clicks and views. Earn your worth, and it's worth hundreds of thousands. Thank you, Fab Daddy. I mean, I wish, but that's not the goal. Pelon says, great job, MLH and KDOT. Keep up the great work. Someone will got to tell them to put up tape. I agree. That was the whole point. I mean, you can't expect somebody to not walk through there if you don't have tape. Nikki Smallboy says, not bad for an auditor. Keep up the great work or good work. The clicks and views will come. Well, I'm not pining for them, but if they happen to come, they happen to come. Jen says, oh my God, wow, on my update. If anybody was wondering, the live I did with SWAT Action, I think I called it, there was a shooting where a trucker threw his coffee out, it hit a car. There was a guy in the car. He got out and he shot the trucker. And I'm pretty sure the trucker died because there were 4 detectives there at first. And it ended up only being 2 detectives. But They don't send out detectives usually unless there's some sort of fatality or they think it's going to be a fatality. So there you go. Unindoctrinated said, wow, that started with a bang. It sure did. Didn't want it to, but. And with the emoji. Thank you very much. John Anderson said, haha, 15 days in prison, debt, and a fine plus a criminal record. I wish it was a year. I mean, really, John Anderson, you think like just walking into a Social Security office deserves a year in jail? I mean, I don't think the punishment fit the crime, really. I mean, I was not a fan of what DMA did in that Social Security office at all. I mean, you can go back to that live. You can see me in chat. You can see Ellie in chat and others in chat saying, don't go in there, don't go in there. And, of course, the dumbass went in there. So, yeah, it is what it is. What the fuck would someone get a deferred surrender date for a freaking wedding? And why do frauditors always look like such losers? Are you referring to me, John Anderson? Because if you are, you're just trolling at this point. And by calling everybody a frauditor, you don't look very good. So, I mean, if that's the look that you want to carry, then that's on you. He continues, the guys that claim they are 1A supporters are so obviously phony and in it for the money. You haven't been paying attention, John Anderson. I told you guys on Frauditor Trolls and on Familia TV, I make like $100 every couple of months, 3 months sometimes. So definitely not in it for the money, bud. All right, let's continue on. He continues. Oh, it's the same comment. I don't know why it showed up twice, but there you go. Here we go. Mick T says, you remind me of Bruce Almighty, always on the spot for exclusive lives. Always great content and a pleasure to watch from across the pond. Cheers for taking the time to share cheers and beers for you and K-Dot. Thanks, Mick T. I know you're a big supporter of the channel and mostly Hot Tub, but that's okay. Really appreciate you on this channel as well. Do you want to say anything to Mick T, Bernie?
Long live Warwick Davis.
There you go. And K-Dot said, appreciate you. All right, let's continue on. King Bluto says, that's it. Give it to him. Let him have it. Let them know who's boss. Let them know's boss do their work. I think you meant who's boss. Actually working for. The Supreme Court has already ruled that cops don't have to protect your safety. That's exactly right, King Bluto. They could care less if we got shot if we walked through there. So, I mean, it is what it is. All right, let's continue on. Howard County says he was number 44 on the likes. Thank you very much. Coffee. He gave us coffee. Thank you. And at 6:48, Sergeant thinks any order he spews is lawful. That was a lieutenant, Howard County, and you're right. By the way, K-Dot and I ran into that lieutenant again, unrecorded, of course, because I don't want to get arrested. And at District 5, you'll get arrested if you have a recording in there, and I don't want to go through the arrest. But I'm working on getting those signs down. Nunya says tape should have been up before you guys got there. I totally agree with that. Internet God says, yeah, you're really different from the other auditors using words like thug when somebody barely touched her with us. Give me a break. That's normal it's normal interaction to put your hands on someone else. And by the way, you're referring to a video a very long time ago. Watch some newer videos and then, then give it to me. I can take criticism, but calling cops thugs is not out of the question. A lot of my videos prove that. Just see the rabbit hole videos if you want to see another cop thug. King Bluto says that that sounds like 100% road rage. Yeah, I probably the update I gave you, that guy got shot, and there you go. Conspiracy music channels like mine don't get ad revenue as we do. I get thousands of views. It's unfortunate for the artists. I agree, Conspiracy. You guys, they should make exceptions to those stupid rules. If you're doing a cover or something, I mean, you guys should get the money, most of the money. What, Bernie?
Yeah, like mine. I always get strikes.
I know, not strikes. You
Copyright.
You get not strikes. What do they call them? Claims.
Claims.
Yeah, you get claims all the time because
our love of dirty songs.
I know. Well, they're not dirty songs inherently. We make them dirty. All right, let's continue on. Oh, that was it. So let's see if we have any held for review comments here. Doesn't look like we have any. Everybody was pretty respectful. Let's see if we have any mentions here. Not going to read that from that idiot. Horizon City Service mentioned me. Said Los Animas County deputies fired. Ooh, I'd like to see that. I haven't seen that video, Horizon, so I will take a look at that. Shangy Girl mentioned me. Check out Shangy Girl's channel. She always has interesting comment. And then FT mentioned me. And check out his wording here. Join me tonight for an interview with @MexicanLonghair about the 1A movement in general and DMA. So he didn't call me a frauditor, and to that I give him a lot of credit. Although he did, call me frauditor in other videos, but whatever. Nightmares mentioned me. Frauditor Wrangler the Troll. That's another interesting avenue if you guys want to check it out. The Frauditor Wrangler was an anti-frauditor, but he himself has stolen valor. And that's a whole interesting subsection of a war that's going on in the, quote, anti-frauditor community. And then Harry Nuts mentioned me on a panel. Thank you very much, Harry. Check out Harry's channel. And that's about it. Okay, so that was all the mentions. So thank you very, very much. What else we got here? That's about it. Conspiracy said the whole FW saga is interesting. It sure is. And that's about all the comments. Okay, let me tell you guys the schedule this week. Tonight I'm going to be meeting up with Blue Unicorn. I may have someone that can carry one of the roles I need in the movie done, and if that happens, I can get more movie in, hopefully. I have recorded some movie, so there is bits and pieces of movie that I can put together, but might have someone to fill one of the lead female roles tonight, so hopefully that goes well. Let's see. Tomorrow I'm not doing anything but watching the Denver Broncos get their ass kicked, most likely. But if you guys have a special request, if you guys want me to, I don't know, let's say you want me to do a video at Red Rocks, let's say you want me to do an audit somewhere, like, you've heard that a certain place is treating people badly, a government building or something of that nature, send it to my email, mexicanlonghair@gmail.com, and I will definitely take it into consideration. What else? Monday I'll be doing, I haven't been doing homeless outreach lately because my funds have been decimated lately, but I will try to get out and do a Colfax run for you guys at the very least on Monday. Tuesday is Hot Tub on Bernie's channel, so make sure you sub to Bernie's channel. You can check me out there every Tuesday, and Bernie every Tuesday at 9 Eastern time on Bernie B's channel. Let's see, Wednesday, another Colfax run. Thursday I take completely off. I don't do anything on Thursdays unless I'm helping KDOT with something, which normally I am. And then Fridays I have a video game podcast that I do called RP Grinders. You can check that out on YouTube and on Twitch. The chat is on Twitch. It's live every Friday at 7 Eastern time. We have a lot of fun there. We talk about video games, and then we get into, I don't know, politics, pop culture, and all kinds of stuff in the second half of the show. So if you guys like video games like myself, make sure you check that out. Ellie is going to be on Familia TV tomorrow at 8 Eastern. So let's show some support for Ellie, because she's kind of going into I would say a small lion's den. But let's show her some support and get her, lift her up, because I know she's going to do a fabulous job, but it's always nice to have some support. Let's see, MLH, did you get the kitty on my chest pics? What are you talking about, Keeper? April Wayne, welcome. Nice to have you in here at the end. I appreciate you being in here. And then the weekends, usually, unless you guys send me an email, I will pretty much, just take the weekends off. But unless you guys have something for me, um, let's see. Oh, let's talk about mental health for just a quick second because I think it's super important. If you guys are struggling with your own mental health, please reach out to somebody that you know, love, and trust. In lieu of that, my email is mexicanlonghair@gmail.com. I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, or a counselor, but I do listen, and sometimes that really helps. But if I don't get back to you in a timely fashion, just remember somebody out there thinks you're their favorite. Hold on to that thought. It could save your life. Also, there's a national hotline in the United States. It's 988, three simple digits. If you are uncomfortable with talking with someone, you can also text that line, 988. There's also a plethora of outlets online in your browser of choice. If you type in mental health help, you will come up with a myriad of options to help you out. Really, truly, and honestly, please talk to somebody before you make a rash decision. Let's see, what else? I think that's about it. You guys have a great weekend. I appreciate each and every one of you guys being in here. I appreciate the support. Like I said, I want to not only earn your subscriptions, but I want to keep them, and I think I've done a decent job of that. If you have a problem, make sure and email me, mexicanlonghair@gmail.com, and let me know what you think, if you have any valid criticisms. And also, just support the channel by watching the videos and commenting. That's what keeps the comment show going every week, and I do appreciate it. Okay. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Saturdays I do the comment show. So there you go. Stay safe, everybody. I want to see you guys back here next week. Until the next video, I am out. Later, everybody. Have a really safe weekend and enjoy it. It's going to be pretty nice here in the Denver metro area. Later, everybody.